My name is Antonia Darder. I'm the Levy Presidential Endowed Chair here at Loyola Marymount University. I'm a Freudian scholar, internationally recognized, but more importantly, I'm an activist scholar, and beyond being a scholar and an activist, I'm also a poet and an artist, a visual artist. For me, the art is also important. It's as important as the scholarly work I do because it has a lot to do with how I express myself in the world, but also how I struggle both inside myself and outside myself to be the best person I can in order to connect with a larger vision of life. And, at this point in my life, I'm considered an international recognized Freudian scholar, and that's because Paulo Freire's work has been absolutely instrumental to all of my research and to my own formation as an activist and as an educator. I've written 11 books. I have a new book coming out very soon on Freudian education. It uses Freire from the standpoint of a person who's been oppressed. And what does it mean to engage the pedagogy of the oppressed as a person who's been oppressed and who has struggled in the community and in academia and education to try to bring greater educational justice for our communities and our children. So, one of the interesting things is that even though I've accomplished all those things, probably the greatest accomplishment in my life has been that I have survived. And I say that not in any kind of, sentimental way. I say that really from a very political and very strong sense as a woman to have survived. I grew up in just incredible poverty. My mother was schizophrenic, and so she had a lot of issues. I mean, she really suffered. And my mother was very, physically abusive, verbally abusive, emotionally abusive. She had struggles with relationships. I ended up being sexually abused for a number of years as a young child and went through tremendous terror and fear around, how I was going to survive all of that. What had ended up happening was that as soon as I could, leave my house, I left my house. So at 16, I got married. And by the time I was 20, I had 3 children already. The interesting thing about being a poor Latina woman at that time, in those conditions, were that usually people, and maybe, even today I think, there's this tendency to believe that because you're young and you have kids, that your life is over, and that you're never going to become anything. And what I know is no matter how hard my childhood was, and having my children didn't keep me from becoming the person that I am today. On the contrary, what I would say, I don't want anybody to be abused, and I don't want anybody to be beaten or brutalized in any way. However, if for whatever reason in life that happens to be our experience, what I understand from everything I've gone through is that it doesn't have to define us. We all have the power to take our lives and turn them around through an incredible hopefulness and a willingness not to let anybody take away from us our incredible capacity to love. So for me, what resilience means is really about the capacity to tap into the deepest spiritual sense of ourselves, our ability to love, our intellect, the power of our body, our passion, toda la fuerza, all the force that we have, nuestro corazón, our heart, and to bring that to the world and allow ourselves to come out and to be with others. But it has to do with our willingness to always be there for ourselves. And through being there for ourselves, we are there for others. It's a powerful process, and it's difficult to talk about in just a few minutes. But I think that all of the things I do, whether they are my intellectual work as a scholar, my activist work, which is my political work out in communities, or my artistic work that has to do with the expression of the deepest, most sacred part of myself, as well as my spiritual sense of loving and being in the world. I think all of those come together in the capacity then to be resilient, and that no matter what happens, I know that somehow I'm never alone, and and I reach out to all those around me to give me strength to